Hey guys, so I just wanted to record a voiceover for this speed paint and kind of talk to you about role playing and the impact it's had on my life. So I began role playing when I was 12 years old, and it was like the summer between 6th and 7th grade. So I began role playing and I made this friend, and her name was Erin, and we would talk constantly. We would have a role play going on with two of our characters who were dating, but we would also talk out of character a lot. And she was an inspiration to me at the time because the characters she created were so in depth and like well fleshed out, and it honestly just inspired me a lot because at this time I was pretty new into like writing and role playing and stuff, so I was taking a lot of like tips from her. And I remember I constantly asked her like, how do you do this, what do you do this, do you work on backstories or personalities or appearances first? Like, I was just wondering like what kind of stuff she did first, and I implemented that into my own character creation until I got to a point where I, felt really comfortable with how I was creating my characters. So I roleplayed from, I think it was summer of 2015 until early 2016. And then I stopped roleplaying. But I remember I was roleplaying at first, the beginning of 7th grade, because I remember replying to role plays as I was walking to my classes and waiting for class to start. But then my parents decided they didn't really like it because they thought I was like sexually role playing and stuff, and so they decided I couldn't be role playing anymore. And so I deleted Google Plus, which is the app I use to role play the most, and I just didn't really role play at all until I believe it was the beginning of 2017, because I was replying to roleplays during 8th grade class, and there I made so many friends and I really got to hone my skills as an author, and I just made so many friends there. Like, I just get so happy thinking about them, even though some of them were kind of in the past and we don't really talk that much now. But there's this one friend that I have, she is like the greatest. She was my favorite role-playing partner, and we role-played for a while. I mean, I'm in 11th grade now and we still talk. We don't really role-play that much. I've kind of taken a break from role-playing since Google Plus got shut down, and I don't really have another method of like getting new role-playing partners. But like occasionally we'll role-play and we have our original characters and they're dating and they're just so cute, and it just makes me so happy to think about it. And also during those role plays I got to kind of flesh out my backstories for my characters and like decide what was going to happen to them, because some of them I made up like on the spot, and now they're like characters that I've been like the mama to for like so long. And like the few that come to mind are Emily and Tate, who are twins, and I just made them up spur of the moment. Like, I was just like, I want twin characters, and now like I've fleshed them out so much, and they have like an intricate backstory, and they have all these different like problems and flaws and issues, and they're so much like, I don't know, they're more complex and intricate now. Like, when I made them I had no idea like the kind of impact they'd have, and now they're like, Emily at least is one of my main characters, and I have been role-playing with her and writing with her for ever since like I think it was 9th grade. So she's been my original character for 2 years, which isn't that long, but I didn't really create original characters until 6th grade, and my first original character was like a creepypasta of myself, which is really embarrassing to think back on. Like, now that I'm older and I'm into true crime, I can't understand how like into it I was at the time, but I was a weird little kid. I had weird interests. But I remember I would write stories to this girl who was in my 6th grade class who was also into creepypastas, and we would like write stories to each other. And I think that's kind of where like I first got like the idea to start role playing. And I remember when I first started role playing, I would do like 1 sentence responses, but as I got like older and I like fleshed out my characters more and I like got plots all figured out, I would like write responses that were like 5 to 6 paragraphs, and honestly it just improved my writing skills so much, which is really weird to think about now. Thinking that I was at a point where I didn't know what I wanted to do, and writing was something that I had always wanted to do, but I just never really had the time to do it. And now that I have like 20 stories, I'm not even joking. Like, role playing has just set me up for so much success in my life. I remember I was mainly into Ruby at the time, and most of my characters were Ruby like fan characters, and so they had like semblances and all this stuff, and then I just kind of incorporated them into my own stories. And I don't know, man, it's just, I like think back on it, and like I didn't think it was that important at the time, but now that I like look back on it, it's just crazy how like far I've come, and I can thank that to role playing. And I know a lot of people think role playing is like weird or something, and like I can kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time, I dated a few guys who role played with me. I was really good friends with a few, and I'm still good friends with one of them, the one I was mentioning before. I don't know, it's just, I think back on it and it's crazy. But I think that's all I really had for this voiceover. I hope you guys enjoyed the speed paint. I made so many decisions like in the middle of it where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna change the hair to orange because they're complementary colors, and I was like contemplating giving her blue skin, and I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!